What is going on, everybody? We're here and we are live. It's a Monday, and it feels like a Monday, Jay.
Yeah, it feels like a Monday. That's for
It
sure.
it
A little
feels like a
tired.
Monday. I'm freaking tired, bro. We did a lot of walking in the sun yesterday at Old Epic.
They keep inviting us back. I don't know what it is. They want Ryan and Jay at Epic Universe before it opens to test everything out. You know, try the food, sample a little bit.
They want me to get the normie vibe. You know, they want Jay to help test the foods and, make sure all the fat person settings are appropriately tuned so you can fit in all the rides. But yes, we were there again yesterday. So.
Well, I got to tell you something, man. While we were at Epic Universe having a grand old time, something happened over at Disneyland. Ryan has no idea this.
This is my guess. I don't know what you're going to talk about. Is it related to Luke Skywalker?
No, but I have that one ready too. I'm going to pull that one up too. Over at Tiana's Palace, apparently a naked man climbs atop Tiana's Palace structure in Disneyland. Apparently, a naked man climbed atop of one of the structures at Tiana's Palace restaurant in Disneyland yesterday evening. Breaking news. The video was taken down. I had the video ready, but apparently it was taken down.
I don't think we should show that, probably.
They had some like tree leaves kind of blocking it a little bit. It would have been fine. So, yeah. But apparently what happened was he was yelling because he was screaming as if Peter Pan, that he was Peter Pan and he was threatening self-harm.
Well, was he really? Well, hold on. Was he really threatening self-harm? Or if he actually thought he was Peter Pan, he probably thought he'd be perfectly fine.
Could fly. Yeah,
that's true. He can fly. He can fly.
That's true.
He's splat.
Like, he doesn't need the dust either, right? He's just regular. He just needs a happy place.
Just a little bit of pixie dust.
Yeah. The man apparently
pixie dusters. Isn't that what they call like Disney park fans or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The man apparently jumped down and then attempted to climb a tree before security guards surrounded him. The commentator also claims that the lamp was broken as he climbed around. Yeah, the video was posted on Instagram, but was taken down. Probably because of nudity or whatever. But, man, all I'm saying is, why am I never at a theme park when a guy takes off all his clothes and thinks that he's Peter Pan? Like, where am I with the camera? I'd love to see that. You know, I think that would be an awesome experience for a Disney park.
Jay would love to see more naked men in his life. That's what I get out of this. It is weird. Look, maybe it's just because the news cycle and whatever, and it just like sounds so much like crazier when it's like at Disneyland. I never see this stuff at Universal. But I don't know. I'm not
Universal there. Universal had an issue last year with people peeing in line.
Well, that was me, to be fair. So. Yeah, you could piss anywhere. That's a rule of life. You're allowed to do that. I'm way cooler with that than I am with. You see the lines at Disney. People are crapping in the lines.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
if I have an option between piss and shit, I mean, pretty easy.
Well, over there in California, it's crazy out there in Disneyland. You just never know what's going to happen. But also, Ryan, you did mention our good friend Luke Skywalker, and apparently Luke is also making the rounds over there at Disneyland. And like, no,
I feel bad for this guy. To be honest,
no offense to the actor, it's not his fault. This post has almost 7 million views, and the comments and the quote tweets are not kind to this man's Down syndrome face.
They're
Luke Skywalker.
They're wrecking him, man. He's getting absolutely annihilated. it is such an underwhelming. I'm gonna go see Luke Skywalker, and it is a little bit underwhelming.
Yo, that's messed up.
I genuinely, I don't often feel too bad for people. This guy's like, hey, we're gonna have you play Luke Skywalker. He's probably like, oh my, really me?
What an honor!
What an honor. Let me go get the dark robes, and I'm gonna go out there and try to make people's day. And you get there, they're just making fun of your derp face. You're just getting roasted all over theme park social media for the hair.
Someone in the chat said, "Is that Disparu?" Yo, man? I'm just saying. What the freak is this, Disney? You know it looks bad. Why did you let him walk out with that wig on or that haircut or whatever? Why did you do that to this poor person?
Yeah, I see a lot of people talking about what a terrible wig. What if it's his real hair? Like
that's even worse.
That's what I was thinking. Like think of this guy, right, who's just getting roasted and everybody's making fun of how trash the wig looks, and he's like, that's my actual hair.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
I don't mean to laugh, but that joke is pretty funny. If I saw this walking out, I couldn't. I don't know. I'd take a picture with him just for the LOLs. That's all. And then people can compare who has the worst Down syndrome face, me or Luke.
I do wonder what
even his belt buckle's like, it doesn't help. You know, his belt buckle's all crooked. It's like looks like he's holding himself because he's got to go to the bathroom. Like nothing about this picture helps in any scenario whatsoever. Poor guy. Again, not laughing at the actor. He's doing his job, but everything is just messed up.
It just has vibes that somebody came there dressed up like Luke, you know?
Yeah, exactly. This is what you see at the Comic-Con.
Oftentimes you see really good cosplays at Comic-Con though. And I feel bad for this guy. I'm not going to lie. I genuinely do feel bad for this dude who's just getting freaking annihilated. And I don't, like, Galaxy's Edge sucks. It's awful. It's trash. And they finally announced after all these years, they're going to bring Luke Skywalker there. I wonder what he says. I wonder what his interactions are like with people. I don't know if we've seen anything like that yet, but it's rough, man.
All right, chat. I'm going to try not to interrupt Ryan. I know I did that whole segment. Sorry about that. I just couldn't stop laughing.
I didn't know you're interrupting me.
The chat corrects me all the time. I appreciate it.
Well, you know, I'm not saying don't look at chat, but I am not one of those people that can just look at chat all throughout a stream constantly. I go back and forth, right, a little bit, but like when we're specifically talking about stuff, I usually am not like eyeballs just scanning the freaking chat. Usually I wait till we're done and kind of look at stuff, but yeah, I don't know.
I love our chat. They're good people.
I'm not saying they're not.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
But if
I probably would do a better job if I just completely turned the chat off and focused.
I'm not saying turn it off, but you can't let it distract you too often. You can't let it distract you.
Someone said, "Is that the gayest Luke Skywalker ever?"
I don't know if it's actually worse than like normal standard Disney Luke Skywalker. That's Jake. That's Jake Skywalker.
Oh, so if you want a good laugh, go to the tweet and just read the comments. Holy crap! Poor guy. Yeah, probably will never, bro. Like, hold on,
that dude is getting ass blasted.
I just want to show one of the comments. So this is from the old Hardware Wars. If you've never seen Hardware Wars, you should. I think it's free on YouTube. Have you ever seen Hardware Wars? I think it was just a teaser trailer, like stupid thing.
I don't know. I don't think so.
So Hardware Wars was like a spoof, of course, on Star Wars, and they just made a teaser trailer, and they renamed everybody Ham Salad and all that stuff instead of Han Solo. It was just a stupid little thing that somebody put out a long time ago. But yeah, he looks just like The Luke from Hardware Wars. They fly around in a toaster. Anyway, somebody brought it to my attention, and I got to see it. The teaser trailer.
I saw a lot of people saying it looks like Rachel Dratch from Saturday Night Live. Like a lot of silly comments like that. But
anyway,
steel leg of history. I can never thank you for all your support and kindness. I have my next fake leg appointment this week. Can't wait to show you all the look of it. Be blessed. Thank you, steel leg of history.
Yeah,
I have to
give you a standing ovation.
LOL. I think it's funny every time like that you say my fake leg. I don't know why. That just like gets me. Like when you just refer to your prosthetic like my fake leg appointment, it just makes me laugh for some reason. But the last one I remember was the like the kind of pirate themed one.
Yeah.
That was cool. Saku Kocho Shark Dragon for 5. What did Toad ever do to Jay? Photo from Ivan shows you were at the scene of the crime. Guilty as charged. Hashtag protect all characters from Jay.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Toad down.
That's not true. Hold on. Are we really doing this? All right, this will take 30 seconds to prove to you that I had nothing to do with this. Nor was I even in the vicinity. Yes, I was at Epic yesterday. Yes, Toad was out, but this had nothing to do with me. It's just look, there's no one around. Nobody. And off he goes. He just tripped over his own feet. Some people are saying that's me. That arm is a little too dark to be me, but
do they have like a kid in there or something? Or a midget?
I don't know, but it's a bad fall when your back feet just swing up over your head.
He got a lot of cushioning there, though, from that thing.
Yeah, he's fine. But yeah.
I that's something I would love to fucking see. It's one of these characters just taking a nosedive.
I wish I had never seen Pooh fall, because now everywhere I go, people are like, did you trip him? Did you trip him? Did you trip this person? Now I'm being tagged on Twitter that I tripped Toad. And then
yeah, I hear you. You're muted.
Bart. I did get a new microphone set up. I haven't installed it yet. Maybe that'll help.
You're muted for like 10 seconds. I was just letting you talk. But
the freak, man.
I don't know. Not me. Shadow saying, will Snape hold his wand sideways and sag his pants now? Yeah, he's gonna have saggy robes. We'll talk about Black Snape. And I'll moan about it a little bit. Hades Beast for 2. Cobra or Destro would not allow such a thing. The People's Doc for $20. This shit pisses me off. Harry Potter's my favorite IP, and they have to go and race swap an important character that changes the dynamics of relationships. Now Harry's going to be racist immediately when he gets to Hogwarts. I'm out. Yeah, I can't wait to see the person that Harry is always just in generally suspicious of for no real reason be black. We will talk about it. I'm not happy either. The Masked Marvel says, hi, Jay.
Hey, what's up?
Alex McCarthy for 2. Snape got blacked. Enter code RK Outpost and drunk 3PO. A shout out to our friends at MetaPC. You can use the code 199. Use the link in the description below, or you can use code RK Outpost, or you can use the code drunk 3PO. You can do it. Nerdic Viking. Half black Harry and the absentee father. Beep. Beep.
Smoke detector.
Beep. Yeah. Thundarius for 2. It's the freaking S tier team starting my day right. Thanks, Thundarius. Snex, help. My sour milk looks like coffee. Is this normal? HBO. Yes. For reference, one time in the book, Snape's skin turns what they describe the color of sour milk. So notably ebony. Empty-headed for 199. I don't agree with Josh. No naked men, Jay.
I just think it would be. It's more of like watching the chaos surrounding when you're at a theme park and some guy decides to take off all his clothes and climb something he's not supposed to climb, and wondering what's going to happen.
Yeah. Tobias got some good hell diving in this weekend with Booming Bob and Shell 3 from the GCA Discord, showing off a couple whip models. Also, finally moving. Congratulations, Tobias.
All right, man.
My Dixie wrecked. Just a couple dudes being bros at the park. No Peter Pans here.
Couple dudes being bros.
Couple dudes being bros at the park. Andre CR, Amy Poehler cosplaying Luke Skywalker is wild. I did see a couple of those, yes. Boba Fett, Luke looks like he wants to take my dark side. Mike Steele for 2, Timu Luke Skywalker. We have Luke Skywalker at home. Taker, I saw a headline that said Snow White was not even made 80 million domestic. Is this true? Ryan, why not have Jay Cutler play Luke? He's not busy these days. I'd love smoking Jay Cutler to play Luke Skywalker. Are you kidding me? Well, I don't know about not even 80. It might not hit 90, but I think it's a little over 80. I think it's 81 million domestic right now, almost 82. So it probably won't get to 90, and it probably won't get to $200 million worldwide. Fucking rough. 0 for $2. Have you tried the food at Epic Universe? Some of it.
Yes. We got some food reviews. I was at the Moon Pizza and Beer. I mean, dude, talk about like excellent marketing for people. Like, hey, we serve pizza and beer here. And they have pasta and a salad if you want to get a salad at that restaurant. But their specialty is pizza. And it's like that brick oven stuff. So it comes out like a little burnt around the edges. I love that. And so we went there and had pizza. Ryan tried PB&J. Sorry, PB&J. It was pork, bacon, and jam in a cone. Sorry about that. Pork, bacon, and jam in a cone. I knew I screwed up as soon as that left my mouth. Like,
and there's no like immediate correction. PP.
That's what I meant to say. PB&J.
PP. Yeah,
PB&J, not peanut butter and jelly, which is what I thought. It was pork, bacon, and I don't know what kind of jam it is because I didn't try it.
I listen. It tasted really fucking good.
And macaroni and cheese on the bottom, right?
It was
in a garlic cone. Oh, it was
so it's good. It's a cone of bread, and the bread is freaking phenomenal. It is some like garlic tasting type of bread, and they put mac and cheese, pulled pork, bacon, and some kind of jam or jelly in there. And holy fuck, that was good. I ate that yesterday. I also had the burger, which is almost like more of a slider size, like a 4-ounce burger. So it's not very big. I had the burger at the Dark Tavern, the one with like the black bun, the Burning Blade Tavern. I had that. That's got bacon and, onions and this good sauce on it. That was really good. And also like the garlic pretzel steak thing that they have, which is again, kind of like a garlic pretzel. That was awesome. So I was eating good yesterday. Yeah,
I ate too good. And then at the end of the day, Krista ordered the Princess Peach cake from the video game. And that was just vanilla cake with icing and fruit. I enjoyed it. The biggest mistake they had that at the time we were there, and I'm sure they're going to change that as they finally open, is we couldn't take it home. So
what do you mean?
So when they brought the cake, you had to like leave it when you're done. I mean, I guess if you snuck it out, you probably could, but there was nothing to put it in, like no box to go.
Was it a special plate or something they gave you? Is that like?
No.
I did not have the cake. I did not have that.
That was a Krista special.
I had enough fucking shit that probably wasn't great for me, but tasted really good, to be honest. Yeah. So McCawk put a freaking Les Paul in the locals chat. That's sick, dude. McCawk looks like he plays guitar. You've met him, right? Jay?
I think so. We met him in Orlando, right?
Was McCocken or I remember San Antonio very specifically. I don't
Or maybe
remember.
San Antonio, yeah.
Yeah, I remember San Antonio very specifically. Over on the Rumble side, Switzerland play it. If it's his real hair, the galaxy far, far away has an unknown Skywalker, Karen Skywalker, that wants to talk to the manager Sith. B. Barrett for 2. Snape's wand got to be noticeably bigger than everyone else's. 10 inches, ebony. Pat for $1, PP and J. It tasted really funny. Might as well talk about Black Snape. We've heard the reports and the rumors and the speculation surrounding the casting for Severus Snape for the Harry Potter series on HBO for a couple months now. And, it started as, hey, they're in talks with this actor. They're in talks with this actor. Some of those fell through. Some of those changed. Some of them didn't. And now it is officially official. Snape is fucking black in the Harry Potter series. The same Harry Potter series that HBO came out when they announced and said, hey, we want to do a faithful adaptation of the books. And as much as people love these movies, and they do love these movies, there's a lot of criticisms to be had for the adaptation itself, some of the things they left out, some of the parts that they included, all of those things. And Harry Potter book fans, the tens of millions of them all around the world of all different races and gender, blah, 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 all this stuff, they wanted to see the books done properly. Well, already right off the bat with this first casting announcement, we know that is not going to be the case. This is not a faithful adaptation of the source material. Papa Esidu has officially been cast as Severus Snape in HBO's new Harry Potter series via Variety. Now, they announced this much in the way that I thought they wanted to announce these things, which was throw a bunch at him, do a bunch of casting confirmations, throw Papa Esidu in there so that can kind of be overshadowed by some of these other, castings. And I'm going to be real. I think that Janet McTeer could play a great Professor McGonagall. I think that Nick Frost could be an awesome Hagrid. But you got Black Snape. Black fucking Snape. Are you excited, Jay, to see Black Snape get bullied by James and Sirius Potter? Are you excited to see him get made fun of for how poor he is and the type of neighborhood he comes from all these other people in school? Are you excited to see him hanging underneath a tree by 2 white kids? Are you excited to see his entire life be about simping for a fucking white woman who doesn't want him? That's what I can't wait to see from Black Snape in Harry Potter.
Makes me wonder how much of the original story they might actually change just because. Even though they are calling it an adaptation. I mean, they did say faithful adaptation, but it makes me wonder if they're going to change a lot or maybe just enough to make it for a modern audience. That's the thing. And also, have we heard anything from JK?
She has not said a goddamn word about
she's
any
been
of this.
very
Even after
quiet.
this official casting.
The crazy thing is, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you, but the only thing I really know about JK, she's like anti-trans on social media, but also this is just theme park silliness. When Universal was building the Harry Potter land, Hogsmeade, things like that, she was actually, her and a team came there, and they all tell the same tale. They came in and she inspected like every little detail to make sure that it fell in line with the book and the world that she created, to the point where they had to tear out a certain fountain and rebuild it because there was a few things on it that was incorrect. So she was like, the only way you're going to have this in your theme park is if I double check it and it's exactly in line with how I made my world. So that's the only thing I kind of know about her. And it makes me wonder how she feels about this. Or maybe she just said, well, I don't have this. I don't even think she has any power, I guess, just to speak out. Maybe she's, because she is a liberal, she's in a tough seat because she's like, I can't speak out against this because people will call me names. So maybe I'll just be quiet. I don't know.
I do not know. look, when they came out, Warner Brothers was very much like, hey, we're excited to have her part of the team. We're excited to do this. She created this world, blah, blah, blah. However, we have heard nothing from her. And look, you can look in the past, and when The Cursed Child did a play, right? Play The Cursed Child, Hermione got cast as a black woman. And there was obviously a lot of outrage over that. This is 10 years ago or something. JK's like, well, curly brown hair, blah, blah, blah. I'm fine with black Hermione. I love black Hermione. Not saying that Hermione's black in her books, but just being like, hey, here's what it says in here. I'm okay with them doing this in this play. Snape is different, and Snape is one of the first characters that she illustrated. It's one of her favorite characters in the entire story. She has specific depictions of him that she drew a long time ago, even though she's not an artist, of what she thought he looked like. And we have heard nothing. The only thing you see from J.K. Rowling is complaining about fucking trans people.
Yeah.
And considering this is an official announcement, I would expect something from her, but I've seen nothing. There was one person that we know at Warner Brothers who said that she's not super happy with how a lot of this is going down. Keep in mind, John Lithgow, an American, has been cast to play Dumbledore. When J.K. Rowling had casting control for the movies, her rule was no fucking Americans, only British actors. And so now one of the first things we see is an American who gets cast to play Dumbledore. Now I have no idea how she feels about it. I wouldn't be surprised if she's not happy, but doesn't feel like she can say anything about it. She obviously, I don't agree with probably 99% of her political takes other than her takes on trans people, but I have no idea how she actually feels about this.
Eventually someone's going to ask her and she'll have to make a statement. She'll have to say something. Either she's just going to be like, I'm okay with it, or not. I mean, that's just it's one of the two. If she came out if you think she came out on a full court press and say, man, I do not like this casting. This is their own version. This isn't like the original. I mean, nothing will probably change, right? But it'll definitely add a lot more controversy to this series before it gets released. So that's all I could think about.
It would. I mean, it's not like she fucking needs the money.
That's true.
But I just don't see that happening. I don't see her being so antagonistic towards it before it airs. I just don't see that. Again, all you see from her all day on Twitter is about chicks with dicks. That's it.
Yeah.
So until that casting happens, I don't know if she'll comment, if I'm being real. And a lot of people want to try to frame this as some sort of right-wing backlash. It's not. This is a Harry Potter fan backlash. Are there right-wingers that are upset about it? Yes, of course. Are there people that have no idea, no investment in anything Harry Potter and are just talking about it because race swap? Yes. But there's also a lot of people, even very progressive, Harry Potter fans and channels and things like that. They might not be saying as outright as maybe someone like me, but they're saying, look, I'm all for diversity, but this is the wrong person to race swap. Think of all the things that changed. The guy that Harry Potter is suspicious of immediately upon the first moment he sees him and always thinks he's up to no good is now the black guy. And you talked about them potentially changing things in the background. I think that they will feel like they need to change the way some of this is portrayed because of the way it will look now with the racial connotations in play. So I 100% think he's going to be... Snape is a complicated character, and if you've only watched the movies, you probably don't understand because, quite frankly, it wasn't a great adaptation. Alan Rickman gave an incredible performance, and with what they were doing in the movies, he played him incredibly well. However, the real Snape is different from that. The real Snape is just not some unsung hero. He's much more complicated and complex. He's a piece of shit. Snape truly is a piece of shit, and they don't do a good enough job in the movies of showing that, yes, while he did some heroic things and was working for Dumbledore, he also did a lot of fucking awful things that he had no reason to do other than the fact that he fucking hates Harry and he hated James and he has been like this all his life until he decided to go into Dumbledore's service, essentially, for him to attempt to save Lily, which obviously failed. And I feel like they're going to, instead of doing a true adaptation, showing both the great and the ugly sides of Snape, which is what they should show, I feel like they're going to try to show him in a much more sympathetic light. And it's just disappointing because it could have been a great opportunity. This is the ugly, hook nose, sallow skin, greasy, shoulder length, black hair motherfucker. The dude who looks like he walked out from GQ fucking Africa is who you cast to play a character who we have maybe more descriptions of than anyone else. It's fucking disgusting and it's stupid and it's bullshit and every single person knows it. And it's a stupid decision.
Well said. Well said. And it's going to be on HBO or Max. Is that what it's going to be on?
Both. I mean, just like
I don't.
Just like House of the Dragon or Last of Us. Like it'll be on HBO and Max at the same time.
What if they like spray paint his skin?
They do whiteface?
Like yeah, what if they put a ton of makeup on him and he looks like they make him look like more like a monster instead of a person?
I'm fine with it.
That could be something.
Go for it.
I doubt they would, but I'm just saying.
Please do it, HBO. Please fucking
that would be wild, wouldn't it?
Go full white girls with it.
Yeah, like white chicks.
White chicks, yeah, that's it.
Then they can give him that, the hook nose and the long, whatever they talked, however they described him. That'd be interesting.
Tobias for 2. Wait, people have an actual chat while streaming? Some of us. You'll get there, Tobias. Jason C for 5. At this point, HBO just needs to go full Key and Peele and do Vincent Clortho School for Wizards.
What is that?
I'm not familiar with that specific sketch, but I imagine there's a Key and Peele sketch where they basically do a black version of Hogwarts. Am I right in assuming that, Jason? That's my guess. Jay set up a tripwire confirmed, says Eric K.
No.
Winterbird, nice seeing you fellas yesterday. Is Winterbird are you the one we saw at the entrance, Winterbird?
Yeah.
Yeah. You never know who you're gonna run into when we're out at the theme park.
That was a great surprise. I heard drunk 3PO from a distance, and I was like, oh my gosh, somebody knows who I am.
For the first time, it wasn't somebody asking where I was, right, Jay? Every story Jay tells, that's how it seems.
I'd say a good 95%. Maybe 96.
No, it was cool meeting you, man. It was cool.
Yeah, it was. It was great meeting you, brother.
We got a lot of friends at Universal, which is cool.
Who would have thought that Universal employees were so based?
Well, probably about half of them at least, kind of how it works. Godzilla's greaser. Krista's the one who actually tripped poo.
Agreed.
Yeah, why didn't
Everybody
Krista
thinks
get the blame
she's innocent.
for it? Krista should have got the blame for it.
I agree.
Yeah, and speaking of Universal employees, the reason we were able to go again yesterday was my friend Rob, who's working there as well. So it's awesome, dude. It's been blessing to get some of these invites to go in there because obviously we're not special media members. We're not cool enough for that. But at least we know a couple people. Taker for 2. James Bond. Poo fall.
Dun, 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 dun.
Can Kingsley Shacklebolt be white since we got Black Snape? I don't want Kingsley Shacklebolt to be white. There is no better black man name than Kingsley Shacklebolt. Are you fucking kidding me? What an awesome name for a black man that is. And Kingsley's Minister of Magic at the end of the series. You even get to see him at the Ministry of Magic. Well, you get to see pictures of him and stuff at the Ministry of Magic at the Harry Potter ride. The new one opened up at Epic Universe. So. Glosser. We was wizards and shit. Garuk, what kind of cheap-ass Temu junk do you people use that randomly mutes you? This is Jay.
Just me, Road, Mike.
I think it's gotta be a connection issue.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I also when I go away, I unscrew this mic from this rod and then I take it with me. But I dropped it pretty bad the other day, so I think there's an issue there. I just like to blame it on StreamYards, but I seem to be the only person that has this problem on StreamYards, so it probably isn't StreamYards, but still.
My guess is that it like you temporarily lose a connection, and when that happens, it auto mutes you.
Yeah.
And then it comes back, and you just have to physically. That's my guess.
That's what happens. Because I could hear it, like everything pops in my ear too, but I've changed the cable 3 times. So I don't know. I finally got the
Probably something
XLR. I'm
probably-
going to use an XLR hookup. So we'll
It's
see. How
probably
that-
internal because you dropped the microphone, and there's something loose rattling around
Yeah.
in there.
That's a shame because I'm poor. I want to be buying mics.
Callum Lau for 5. No Tomb Raider for Fleabag and her man-hating feminist messaging. Thank God.
That is true. Tomb Raider was canceled after
didn't
they
even
spent all
talk
that
about
money
that
doing
yet.
whatever. Also, I heard Blade was canceled.
How many times have I can't tell you how many times I've made a fucking video about Blade being canceled because I just don't see it ever happening. But I don't think we've officially got that word yet, have we? It's just more insider reports say Blade's not happening.
Let me check real quick. Why?
Yeah. Dieter von Klausenberg for 10. Hey guys, I don't know if you've heard, but the FDA recently approved a new treatment for lesbians suffering from depression. They're calling it tricoxagen. Haha, just kidding. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that is the solution for every lesbian. They're just pretending. They'll come back. The Trillist for 199. Jay, the habitual trippist.
I got big feet. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what's going on.
The Ragging American, or the Raging. The Raging American for 190. You guys gonna see The Accountant too? Probably at some point. I have a lot of. I want to see Warfare. I want to see The Accountant 2. I want to see King of Kings, which is out, and all of this is happening as I have a flight that I'm gonna catch tomorrow because I'm leaving for Vegas tomorrow, and I got so much shit going on, so I do want to see all of them. Shadow Saiyan for 5. Ryan, how was the PP? Well, you can thank Jay for that magical meme.
PB.
Aberjam UK for £2. Not even Jake. That's Melvin Skywalker. D. Wiley New Market for 5. Snape will still have long, straight hair, so he straightens it every morning, I guess. Jessica Lindstorm Racism. Brian loves PP and J.
PB.
Don't worry about pronouncing my name. It's Korean. First time supercharger, Geeks and Gamers. Tuesday night fights and FNT rock. It's like hanging out with old friends. Well, thank you. You said don't worry about pronouncing your name. I'll just say Yukyun. Maybe that's close. But thank you for a first time super chat on the channel.
Which Korean are you? North or South?
He's super chatting, so probably not North. The Trillist for 199. Black Snape got a fully automatic wand. He's got a switch on his wand. He's just a Vada Kedavra and everything. Let's see. Mike Steele, Jay, bum, you won't be there at the meetup. Is there anything I can do on your behalf to bring the spirit of drunk 3PO to the night?
Buy Ryan some drinks.
We'll see about that.
Yeah.
Dark Knight Rider for 2. Snape can sit where he wants at Quidditch matches. Ooh, man. Real world coming together. Borgport, do they have Power Up Cafe in Nintendo World that sells mushroom-shaped calzones and Mario-themed drinks? Or is that just in Hollywood for now? They've got the Toadstool Cafe.
Yeah, and the other thing that the Yoshi's like snack area, it was not open yet, and they're supposed to have a lot of the specialty items for Nintendo, and that they didn't have that open. Technically, me and Ryan, when we've gone, they call it a cast member preview, and they test a lot of stuff, so it's not like fully operational. So like yesterday when we went, some of the rides were down all day because they call it a rehearsal. So it's like some of the rides they weren't working yesterday they were testing out a virtual queue system for the Ministry of Magic ride that I didn't get, which was sad because I really want to do that ride because everybody's saying that that's the greatest thrill attraction in all of Florida. So,
Yeah, I really want to ride that, and it sucks. But yeah, they were testing out the virtual queue on it. Didn't get to do that, but I did just do the normal walkthrough. That is the thing. Even if you're not riding the ride, you can still walk through and see the ministry stuff, which for a lot of people, that's going to be like a cool thing they want to do.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Go through the Flu Network, all that good shit. Jacob P. Tweet JK about Black Snape. You can get more of a chance of being noticed than me. Just ask her. Live tweet her. I listen, there's a lot of people that have been tagging her. I think she'll respond if she wants to, but I don't know. McCawk. I used to go to school with a black guy. His name was Asa Spades. Thank you, McCawk. Universal Studios in Florida is cool, but Hollywood is still ghetto, said Bungles Twanger. Last time I went to Universal Studios Hollywood, it was like 2016, 2017, 2016, 2017, and it was raining all day. But
that's such a unique theme park, being built on cliffs. You gotta take these giant escalators to like the different levels. So that was kind of like when I went, I was like, this is wild, first time seeing
much
that.
more cramped than here.
Yeah.
David Knight, every other characters look the same apart from one. Why are the rest of the characters close to the description apart from one? That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of these characters, like they had the Quirrell casting, they also had Argus Filch. I think those are both solid castings. Nick Frost, I think, could be a phenomenal Hagrid. And so it's obvious. Like it's so glaringly obvious when you look at all these characters and how they look. And obviously John Lithgow for Dumbledore, you're going to have a big beard and all of this shit, but it's just so blatantly obvious what they were doing with Papa Asidu. Fuck that. Rejected Alabama slogans. Alabama, all our family trees are straight lines. Tommy Halter, Poopy Asidu has watermelons in his bio. Pro-Palestine weirdo turned comments off on Instagram. What a coward. Gungo Mac, would you Black Snape Wakanda forever? River Miles for 5. One of HBO's Snape conditions in accepting his position as professor of potions was for backboards and nets on all Quidditch hoops. Thank you. Brian Grumps. Why are 13% of Hogwarts professors responsible for 80% of the crimes? Yeah, who's up to no good this year, Harry? I don't know. I got a bad feeling about Snape. You racist son of a bitch. Maximus BT for 199. Shiitake. Thank you. Jeremy White. Can the Weasley children obviously be from different fathers? I hope they make the Weasleys black. Callum for 5. On Blade, I do believe now that Kevin Feige isn't just a white guilt, but he's terrified of black people.
How do you mess up a Blade film, man? It's just like, I think out of all the Marvel movies, that's the easiest one to make.
You make it about a bunch of women.
Just vampires and a guy with a sword killing them. That's it. Doesn't have to be complicated. I don't understand.
Hades Beast for 3 with a super sticker. Thank you, Hades Beast. Appreciate it. Darth Manic for 5. I thought the Raging said you're going to see the Acolyte too. Oh, no. The Accountant too. The Accountant. I mean super chat. Auto spelling sucks, and anyone super chatting is South. Also, your rants are awesome. Thank you, Yukyun. Appreciate it.
All the way from Korea.
South Korea. Anak Maman. Reviews and rants. I won't be able to attend the next meetup. Chat, please make sure to give Ryan an extra big hug for me. A peck on the cheek, too, if it feels right. I will not be accepting pecks on the cheek from men. So, even if it feels right, don't. Chris Coran for 5. Jay is saying Ryan PP is just getting back at him for Jay Gay Storm from last week. I defend Jay tripping characters.
Huh? Storm.
Remember, I said I was trying to say gay Johnny Storm, and I said
you said
Jay Johnny Storm.
It's quite the memory you got there, Chris.
Stewie felt for 2, so there's hope for Forrest Whitaker yet. He could still be Mad Eye Moody. Joshua, J.K. Rowling may have a sense of justice for protecting women, but she's woke in other areas. If it were a trans playing Snape, she would say something. Potential. Look, I think that this cat is crazy as she is with some of this stuff. I can't imagine she's happy with this casting decision specifically. But I don't know that. I think it's weird that we haven't heard anything from her about an adaptation of the Harry Potter series, on which she is she's obviously not as involved as she was with the movies, but she's tagged in there as a fucking executive producer. And I think it's like, I think it's shocking we've heard nothing, even from a positive perspective. Like, John Lithgow as Dumbledore is a big thing. Like I said, it goes completely contrary to all of her casting instructions for the movies, which was no Americans, only British. And we've heard nothing. And I think it's strange. Let me see. Maybe she said something in the past couple hours. I don't know.
I'm looking.
JK.
I got nothing.
Last thing, let's see. Fucking chicks with dicks, chicks with dicks, chicks with dicks. Here's one: National Pet Day. Dogs. That's some cute dogs. I mean, let me go to replies. Let's see if maybe there's a reply to anyone. Nah.
No.
Let's see.
That will make headlines, man. Whether I'm pretty sure that would make headlines.
Yeah, just not. I don't see anything. And it's one thing when they had all these rumors out, like when it's just speculation, this person in talks, whatever. This is now finally, even though we knew some
confirmed,
of these,
yeah.
This is finally the confirmation from Warner Brothers, the cast announcement from Warner Brothers. We ain't heard shit. The chat. Jay needs a laugh. Insert Krista fart sound here.
I don't hear anything.
Some young gay fat for 199. I have nodding, not Cena, fat, gay. Thanks. Snacks for 5 and King of Kings. Will Mark Hamill tell Jesus to force himself? I mean, potentially. He does play the villain. I think he plays King Herod, or he voices King Herod, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Nick Brown for 5. I'm also worried they're going to make Snape's wand bigger than everyone else's.
Maybe you could buy it.
Should we talk about this Doom picture that's making the rounds, Jay?
Yeah.
I think we need to talk about this. I have feelings about it. But the other day we talked about Fantastic Four, and obviously so much is riding on Fantastic Four and the setup for Avengers Doomsday, which has very little time to actually set up this massive Avengers movie starring Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. And they already kind of got off on the wrong foot, revealing that they're going to drastically change the characters of Sue and Johnny Storm specifically. They're going to insert gender politics and comments on modern day masculinity. And they don't want Johnny Storm to be a playboy. They want him to be respectful to people. All this ridiculous shit. Well, over the weekend, we got what some people say is a leaked image, what I tend to think isn't real. But it had a lot of people talking. MCU fans divided over Robert Downey Jr. Dr. Doom leak, and we can see why. This is the leak that is out there of potentially Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. Jay, I think this is fake. I don't think this is real. I think that this is a fake image that somebody put out there. But what do you think about it? What do you think?
I think it's fake as well. I do love the fact that people are asking Grok if it's real or fake, and Grok is responding. It looks to be a real image. I just don't see how this thing would have gotten leaked, and I don't know, man. I think this isn't it. This isn't it. But yeah, again, if Fantastic Four like craps out, will people even be interested in this? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think it's. I agree with you. I think this is fake.
Now, I
Even the comment, like the guy who posted this posted like a laughing emoji.
Yes.
You know, so but people are talking. They're like, "Hey, look at the suit." All that stuff.
Most people hate the armor. They hate the way he
Yeah.
looks in it. Like they hate the fact that he doesn't have the mask. They hate that long hair. I 100% do think we're going to see Robert Downey Jr.'s face all the time as Doom, because
Yeah.
that's like the point of them casting Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to give him this long hair like that. That's one thing I'm not sure about. Overall, the look feels a little bit uninspired, to be honest, which is right on par with Marvel. I just have a heart this looks like a fake with how blurry it is. It looks fake as shit to me. And it
Yeah.
would be so easy to do nowadays. And Grok doesn't know anything. Grok's a retarded piece of shit
Yeah.
about
No, I
basically
agree with you. I
everything.
think the what Marvel does is that they let everybody have that Wakanda, mineral in their armor so that they can retract their face so the actors have proper face time. That was the big thing with Pedro Pascal playing the Mandalorian. He didn't have enough face time, even though the characters require them not to have face time. And I think that's what's going to happen here with Robert Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom. He'll have his mask on probably the first, but everyone's going to know already that's Robert Downey Jr. So it's not going to be a big thing when he takes his helmet off for the big reveal, but that's probably what's going to happen. He's going to take the helmet off and he's going to walk around something like this. Again, if they do something like that, it's just going to make it worse. But I agree with you. There's something in the contracts where it's like, we got to make sure that these people have enough face time to, massage their egos, that they have to show their face and break the costume of the character, just so they would be appeased. So that's going to suck, dude. Like,
you're talking about the nanotech helmets, not
yeah.
Nanotech
Nanotech technology from Wakanda.
Yeah.
I know that's why they purposely added that in the quick storyline, just so it could quickly come off. You know what I mean? Like, so they're not like taking off their mask while they're talking. So it can just quickly come off and quickly come back on. That's why they added that in the MCU. So now everybody has that nanotech, and they're like, yeah, I got a new suit from nanotech. Well, that's cool. Yeah, whatever. So it's stupid. Like, it's stupid, but that's Hollywood for you.
Yeah, I don't think this is real. I think that Robert Downey Jr., like the hairstyle he has now, I think is probably like the hair they're going to go with for it. I just don't buy it.
Yeah, the nanotech is lazy, but it's just an easy way to. So, like, if Robert Downey Jr. signed a contract, I'm going to play Doom. Okay, in the contract, I'm telling you, there's a my real face will have. I'm just throwing a number out here. 1 hour of screen time in these next 3 films or whatever it is. So they got to make sure that they figure out a way to have that much of his real face on the screen as part of the contract. That's why you saw Spider-Man and Iron Man and all of them. They would just, when they start talking, the mask would come off and they would have their real face as much as possible. Anytime there was a slow scene or whatever, the mask came right off. So they showed their real face. That was Pedro Pascal's big problem with The Mandalorian. He wanted real face time, and that's been talked about forever. Like, he didn't want to like walk around. And so when they finally said, man, it's part of the character, not take your helmet off, then he just like, I'm going to voice it in. I'm just voicing it in then.
Yeah, why
you don't need me on set for nothing. I'm just going to do some voice acting for the Mando. And, that's how it is.
Yeah. We'll see, man.
Anyway.
Everything's riding on this movie. Everything. Mikey Gussler, even if the Harry Potter show had accurate castings for everyone, the movies would still overshadow the show no matter what. I don't know if that's necessarily true, Mikey. Obviously, it's a movie versus show, but they could actually give people a proper adaptation and maybe a Goblet of Fire that isn't a massive piece of shit, even though I know it's your favorite movie, Mikey, because it's nothing compared to the book. The Trillist, James Potter isn't just a regular wizard. He's a grand wizard. Maybe. 0, we didn't land on the Ministry of Magic. The Ministry of Magic landed on us. Mikey, you know
Do
John
better, Dumbledore. Sorry.
Mikey, you know John Campea is going to crank up the calling of everyone who doesn't like the Snape castings racist. Can't wait.
I haven't heard that name in a long time, nor have I seen any clips from that guy. I haven't heard Campea's name in like forever. So, whatever.
I'm sure he's doing well.
But I'm sure he will.
Taker, One Piece made Gary into an anime character. Navy Vice Admiral Guillotine. Look up this guy and tell me it's not Vice Admiral Nerdrotic. Never seen One Piece. I've never seen live action. I've never seen the regular thing. Never read it.
One Piece is great.
Might as well be Zero Piece.
Live action.
Darth Manic for 5. Black Snape puts a whole new meaning in the Half-Blood Prince. Half-blood, half-crip. Sneg's fantastic pronouns. Let's see. Stewie Felt looks more like Dr. Ron White. Oh, you motherfucker. Joshua Henderson for 199. I think J.K. Rowling. Sorry. I'm trying to check in for my fucking flight and like my reminder just went on to check in. And I did it. I fucking opened the app, go to check in, and the app closes and has to update. Stupid piece of shit.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Joshua Henderson for 199. I think J.K. Rowling could be pulling to George Lucas. What does that mean? The chat. Doom looks sick. Literally sick. God. Also. Poot.
He's got a sickness, a disease.
All right. There we go. Check in.
Ryan's all checked in, ready for his flight to Vegas.
Yep.
Will there be any karaoke this time around?
No promises.
No promises. I got it. Respect.
You never really know what's going to happen. You Cupid stunt for $1 on Rumble. Snape victims incoming. Thank you. I like your name. You Cupid stunt. That's pretty good. But I think we're all cut. You know what? We got to talk about this because you and me are not going to be here tomorrow. I did just want to briefly talk about King of Kings, just because that is coming from Angel Studios and had a really solid opening weekend.
It actually beat expectation, did it not?
It did. I think around $19 million for the King of Kings, which is an animated movie about Jesus, the Charles Dickens greatest story ever told. And I do want to go see it. I could not this weekend because I was getting ready for the trip, and we went to Epic, and hopefully I'll be able to watch it within the next couple weeks. But when you do look here at the numbers, you can see is the number 2 movie in the country at almost $20 million in 3,200 theaters. Beat the debut of The Amateur, Warfare, Drop, all of these other things. Minecraft movie also had an incredible hold, only a 50% drop. Not exactly like Barbie legs, but a really solid hold for Minecraft. Expectations were 70, 75 million. It gets $80 million in its second weekend. Jack Black even appeared at a theater asking people not to throw popcorn during the chicken jockey scene. But Snow White, way down there in 8th place. Way down there in 8th place.
That's crazy.
But I did just want to give a shout out for Angel Studios King of Kings, breaking like a 20-plus-year-old record for, biblical animated movie from Prince of Egypt way back in the day with a nearly 20 million debut.
I'm hoping to see it this week as well. I'm excited to support my friend James Arnold Taylor, who voices several characters in that film, and been making the rounds too, like doing the media rounds. So good for him. I'd love it for him to like break away from Obi-Wan, but that's probably his star character that everybody knows him from, Obi-Wan from the Clone Wars. But he also voices some characters from that Marvel Rivals game that a lot of people don't realize. So he does a lot of work that people don't, realize that he's in. So that's pretty neat. But hopefully I can see it Tuesday or Wednesday. Probably head on over and let you know about the King of Kings.
And I imagine I imagine King of Kings is going to do well next week with it being Easter weekend.
Easter, yeah.
And then I think The Chosen, the next part of The Chosen that also comes out on Easter weekend is also going to do rather well. That's been huge. These Fathom events, The Chosen events that they have been doing for the past couple of years, they're making solid money for this movie or the show that's already out. You know what I mean? And then they just put it in theaters as well. And it's doing really, really solid.
Aren't they dropping like a movie a weekend?
That's what they've been doing. Last couple of weeks, they've done part 1, part 2, part 3, and all the way leading up to Easter.
So like, so you could go enjoy it. That's wild, man. Never heard anything like that. Like every week.
Yep. So I just want to do a quick update
House of
on
David.
that.
Did you finish Speaking of religious entertainment,
I have not finished House of David yet. I need to finish it. Maybe I'll do it unpacking today.
The episode before the last episode was the first time I was like, all right, this was a filler. But the last episode was pretty good. I mean, we all know what happens. He fights the giant, but that's pretty neat.
Yeah, I think everybody knows the story. But I mean, think about that. Like the chapter in Samuel, like where all this is derived from. There can't be more than like 15 or 20 verses before David wants to confront Goliath.
Right.
But that's what this entire thing has been about. Now, some of that you can fill in, like him telling stories about the lion and everything like that. That obviously happens while he's trying to convince them that he can handle Goliath. And we get to see him do like all these things. But I have enjoyed it so far.
I like it for what it's worth.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm sure there's going to be I'm sure there's going to. I think if it did well enough, they're going to do another season. You know, probably when he becomes king.
Yeah, 100% they're going to do. They're going to do probably a couple seasons of this. So we'll see. All right. That's it for us, Jay. Well, actually, we got more super chats in, I think. HBO Snape brings a new meaning to the term dark wizard. Yeah, Snape really wants the dark arts job. He's obsessed with it. Eric K. They should have gone with 100% black cast and called it Hassan Potter. Hades Beast, Jeff Bezos. You did today what Elon was doing 10 years ago.
You mean those women that went into space for 2 minutes and came back down and kissed the ground? Katy
Perry.
Yeah.
The chat for Joe. I'm really glad you reviewed the new Tron trailer. You're welcome. We knew you were asking for that. So
man,
glad we could finally get that done for you.
I haven't even seen it.
iCanalist for $5. Snow White 2025 to Fat Man and Little Boy. Let me show you how it's done, sons. Bro, Snow White's a monumental disaster. Worse than the Marvels, which is crazy. All right, guys. That's it for us. We will not be here tomorrow. Should be Jeremy and Beardo. So, and then me and Jay will probably take Wednesday after I get settled in Vegas. Because I'll be in the air.
Park Hop and stream at 3:00. Just a few hours. I'll be back live again.
There you go. All right. Thanks, everybody. Everybody on Rumble, Locals, YouTube, wherever you're watching. And we will talk to all of y'all later. Bye, everybody.